All righty. Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to our 25-minute recharge class. So let's go ahead. We'll actually give it a couple seconds, but we'll get started in the seat. So you guys want to get to that spot, go ahead, or if you need to grab water or anything like that, go ahead and get it. And we'll go ahead and get going. So again, my name is Allison. Yeah. So anyway, we'll start. Hands on those knees. Okay, sitting up nice and tall. Let's just go ahead and go into those shoulder rolls. So rolling those shoulders up by the ears, sliding them down and back. So think, squeeze the shoulder blades together as we soften down. They go up and around. A couple more big circles. Good, now go the other way. So shoulders go back, up and down. And one or two more times. Good, now we'll bring those arms out to the sides. Okay, go ahead and start with really small circles going back. Those arms will get bigger and bigger and bigger. The big reach of arms go out and up and then back. Good, couple more times. Good, and then let's go the other way. So start with the arms out. Let's go small circles first. We'll get bigger and bigger and bigger until we're in those big, big full circles. Good. Now we're going to reach our right arm straight out. We're going to bring it across the body. So this left forearm is just going to hug that arm in a little bit closer. Keep sitting tall. Notice that this shoulder is hiked up. Pull it down and back. Okay. About relaxing the shoulder away from the ear. A little bit of a tricep stretch. So right along here. And then let's go to the other side. So we're going to reach that left arm out, sweep it across, and then that right forearm is just going to hook it. Again, pulling that left shoulder away from that ear. Couple breaths. And then go ahead and release those arms up overhead. Okay, let's go ahead and lower that. Right hand down, left arm reaches up and over, big side stretch. And inhale, bring it back up. Go to the other side. So reaching that right arm up and over, side bend. Good, then big reach back up, twist it over to that right side. So sit tall on that inhale. Exhale, looking over that shoulder as we twist. And bring it back up. Exhaling it over to the other side. Now bring it back to neutral. Okay, you can do some neck rolls. Okay, so draw that chin down to the chest. And then sweep that left ear over to that left shoulder. And bringing that chin back to the chest, and we'll go over to the other side. The chin to the chest, and sweep it across. If you want to do that full circle, if that feels okay in your neck, go for it. If it feels better to just stay in those little half circles, that is fine too. If you find an area that's a little bit tighter and you want to hold in that position for a couple seconds, allowing it to release, you have that option. Good, then bring that head up back to neutral, and we'll reach those arms up. Let's go into the side bend. And the twist one more time, so reach up and over. Inhale it back up. Exhale to the other side, so big reach up and side stretch. Inhale it back up and twist it to the right. Bring it back to center. Over to the other side. Good, bring it back to center. Let's go ahead and come onto those hands and knees. Okay, so plant those hands down right underneath the shoulders. Knees are underneath those hips. Let's go and send that right leg back. Flex that foot, point those toes down. We're going to send that left arm forward. So reach to the fingers, reach to that heel, and then curl that knee and draw that elbow in touch. Inhale, reach it back out. Exhale, curl it in. Inhale, reach. Exhale, curl. Inhale, reach. Let's go 2 more times. Curl it in. Inhale, reach. Curl. And reach. And lower the hand, lower the knee. Let's go to the other side. Left leg extends back. Right arm reaches forward. Curl it in, touch. Inhale it back out. And curl. And reach. Curl it in. Reach it back out. 2 more times. Curl. And reach. And curl. And reach. Good. Lower it down. Let's go to the other side. Right leg reaches back. Left arm reaches forward. Repeating. Curl it in. Send it back out. Ooh, and curl. And reach. Curl. And reach. Last 2. Curl it in. Reach it back out. Curl. Reach it out. Now we'll pulse it for 10. So lifting the hand and the leg, keeping the core tight. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower that hand down, lower the knee down. To that other side, sending that left leg back. Right arm reaches forward. Curl that knee in and extend it out. Curl and extend. Curl and extend. Last 2. Curl it in. Reach it out. Last 1. Curl and reach. Here we go. Pulse it for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower that hand down and the knee down. Bring those toes together, knees a little bit wider, and then just rest those hips back into that child's pose. So big reach through those hands, actively pressing into those palms to press those hips a little bit closer to the heels, resting that head down. So the wider those knees are, the more that chest can soften between the shoulders, the more of that stretch you'll feel kind of through this space here, right between those shoulder blades. And now lift up slightly. Let's walk those hands over to that right side. So we've been walking those hands off of the mat. Big reach through that left arm as we rest that head down, pressing that left heel back to that left. No, switch that up. Here we go. Switch, pressing that left hip back to the left heel. Now walk these hands to center, and then we'll go over to that left side. So reaching out through that right arm, pressing that right hip back, relaxing that head down. Remember to breathe. And then walk those hands back to center. Go ahead and bring those thumbs up, okay? Palms can walk together. And then just bend those elbows, bringing the thumbs to the back of the neck. So a little stretch through those triceps, maybe that upper back. And then go ahead and release those arms down. Come back up onto those hands and knees. Let's go and step those feet back to our plank. Okay, holding it here, spread those fingers out, press into the palms. Bring those feet a little bit closer together, and then think about squeezing the legs and the feet together. Go for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Send those hips up to that inverted V shape, that downward facing dog. Now this position, you can walk those feet a little bit wider, maybe about hip distance apart, maybe even wider if those backs of the legs are feeling particularly tight today. And then we'll come on back to our plank. Okay. Take a couple breaths, really strong through the core, strong through the legs. And we're just gonna do little marches with our feet. So we're gonna lift our right leg up and down. Left leg lifts and down. So again, right, down, left, down. Let's go 10, 9, 8, 7. Keep that core tight, using those glutes to lift. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. I think I'm counting. I'll do one more. There you go. And lower those knees down. So we can send those hips again back to the heels. So maybe you go knees closer together, get a little more rounding in the spine if that feels better. If you're one who likes to kind of arch a lot through the low back, this might feel good as a counterbalance. And then come back up onto hands and knees. Go and step it back to our plank. Okay, now we're going to do mountain climber. So curling that knee into the chest and then back out. Okay, so we're going to go slower with this. Okay, so we're going to go right in and out, left in and out. So we go 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Hips up and back. Coming into that down dog, that inverted V shape. Go ahead and walk those feet up to your hands. Sliding those hands up the shins, finding that flat back. And pausing here for a couple of breaths. So neck is neutral. So just finding a spot a couple inches in front of our toes to look at. And then we'll lower those hands down as we fold. And then go ahead and rise up. Oh, excuse me. Reaching those arms again up overhead. Let's go and interlace those fingers. Flip those palms to point up. Really squeeze those biceps by the ears. And then we'll bend it over to that right side. Inhale, bring it back up. And exhale it to the left. Inhale, bring it back up. And release those hands. Again, finding that fold. Let's go ahead and walk those feet out a little bit wider. So we can even bring those toes to the very ends of the mat. Heels are in just slightly. Go ahead and stand up tall. Okay. Reaching those arms up overhead. So everything is tight. So this is what I was talking about earlier. You really overarch to the back. Okay. This, if you're kind of stand like this a lot, that's kind of what I was referring to. But in this position, make sure that core is really tight. So think, pull the rib cage down, pull that tailbone down. Reaching those arms up, pressing the knees out, grip with the toes. We'll bring those hands to heart center as we sink those hips down into our chair. Give a little sway from side to side, stretching out through those ankles. Okay, opening up through the hips, through the ankles, pressing those knees out as wide as you can to drop those hips down a little bit lower. And then press, stand back up, reach those arms up tall. And then bring the hands down as we sink back into that squat. Okay, so go as low or as high as you need to. Press, lift it back up, and down, and lift. Down. Let's go 2 more. Press it up. Bring it back down. Now press up. We're going to come up onto those toes. A little more balance here. So grip that big toe into the mat, pulling those ankles up and in towards that midline. So we don't want those ankles bowing out to the sides at all. Good. Holding one more breath. Good. Now bring those heels back down and sink those hips back into that squat. Okay, drive those knees out as much as you can. Grip with those toes. But as we hold it here, maybe those hips soften down a little bit more, right, without losing that integrity of the back. We want that nice flat low back, upper back. Hold it for a little bit longer. Stay with it. Let's go 3 and 2 and 1. Lower those hands down, straightening those legs. Just let the head, the arms stay nice and heavy. Gonna go ahead and plant those hands. Let's go ahead and step that left foot back Okay, coming into a low lunge. So hands are on the ground. Okay, this right ankle is right underneath the right knee, and this back thigh, back knee is lifted up off of the ground. So pressing those hips forward and down just slightly. So starting to feel a little bit of a stretch through the left hip flexor. And then we'll twist, reaching that right arm up towards the ceiling. Okay, big reach up. And then lower down, hold that lunge. And then twist, reach it back up. And down. So one more time, reach. Good, bring it back down. Let's go and switch sides. So bend that back knee, stepping that foot up to that fold. Then we'll go to the other side, sending that right foot back, lunging into that front knee on those fingertips. Good, now we'll twist, reaching that left arm up to the sky. And lower the hand down. Twist and reach that arm up. And down. Last time, twist and reach, really reaching up with that left arm. And lower that hand down. Go ahead and step again, both feet up to the top of the mat, finding that flat back as you inhale. And then exhale, fold. Now we're going to take, again, a big step back with that left foot. This time, this knee can lower down. Okay, pressing those hips forward and down. So we're trying to work towards coming to the muscle belly of this left leg here. Okay, so we're going to twist again, reaching that right arm up. Now, option for you to start to bend that back knee. So you might start to feel even more stretch through that quad, through that hip flexor. Now from here, maybe you can start back, reach back, grab onto that foot. Okay, now here's a little cheat. You can bring the leg across slightly and from those hips back. But we want to bring those toes to point straight up towards the ceiling as we press those hips forward. This position is going to be a lot healthier on the knee than that one that I was just in, but you can kind of cheat it for a second. Just make sure, just to grab onto that foot, but make sure we bring it back to that right position. Core stays tight, really big twist, opening, looking through that shoulder, and then pulling that heel right towards that left hip. Okay, we don't want to be yanking that foot across either direction. Protecting that knee. Gonna go ahead and release that foot if you have it. Lower both hands down inside that right foot. Okay, now start to bend those elbows, kind of like we're going into a push-up. Okay, pause in that push-up position. And then maybe you lower down onto a forearm, maybe both, maybe just one. Keep pulling that chest forward. We want that nice flat spine. As you make your way back onto those hands, let's step those feet back to that forward fold. And then let's go to the other side. So taking a big step back with that right foot. Go ahead and lower that knee down. Now again, we'll twist, reaching that left arm up. So press those hips forward, get on that muscle belly, not on that kneecap. Start to bend that back knee, reaching for that foot. So again, if you need to kind of cheat a little bit to grab on. Okay, again, also if you grab onto that big toe side, walk the hand around. So we want to be on that pinky toe side, pressing the hips forward, turning those toes to point straight up towards the ceiling, and then pulling that heel right towards that left glute. Good, core is tight as we twist open. One more breath. And now go ahead and release that foot down. Go and lower onto those hands. Going into that push-up. And then we'll lower down onto those forearms if it is accessible on this side. And come back onto those hands. Let's just go ahead and step the feet back to kneeling and then bring those hips up and back, downward facing dog. Big stretch through the backs of those legs. And now we'll go into a pigeon. So we're going to bring the right knee towards that right wrist, foot slides across. Okay, now we'll bring that left leg back. Okay, pointing those left toes, making sure those toes are pointing straight back. Gently pressing into this right shin and pulling back as that left knee pulls forward. And when you're ready, go ahead and lower onto those forearms. Just go ahead and rest the head down onto those hands. And breathe, soften, relax into it. Good, then come onto those hands. Let's go to the other side. So bring that left knee towards that left wrist, foot comes across, and then slide that right leg back. Point the toes, lowering onto those forearms, and then go ahead and rest that head down. So if it's okay, if this foot, as you can see, is kind of angled back a little bit, that's fine. Or you can bring that foot all the way up so the shin is parallel to the front of the mat. Just kind of depends on what feels better on the knee, what that hip, what is accessible for that hip. So kind of up to you, whatever modification you need. And then come back to those hands. So let's just come into a seat. Again, closing out this little recharge class. Just reach those arms up. We'll go one last side stretch over to that right side. Bring it back up. And then over to that left side. Bring it back up. We'll twist it to the right. And then twist it over to the left. and bring it back to center. All right, guys, thank you so much. Have a great rest of your Friday, and I will see you guys back here tomorrow at 9:30 for 25-minute yoga.